Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week of our Module 3. We are in week 3 already, and our subsequent week we'll look at XR and other emerging technologies. And today we shall be looking at Web 3.0 and connectivist learning. And unlike XR that we looked at in our previous week and AI, Web 3.0 is an emerging technology, as we heard in our introductory video for this particular week. And as such, it's in its developmental stages, so it lacks a definite definition. And there is still a lot of research or a lot of things going on with regards to Web 3.0. And this is by way of its general introduction. We will say that it represents the next stage internet evolution that's going to help in leveraging and decentralizing technologies in terms of the blockchain and its immersive environment. So let's not waste time. Let's go directly into the presentation for this week. So our agenda for this week is that we are delving into Web 3.0, like I said, and its unique technical advances or affordances, its instructional advantages, and its envisioning the future in terms of teaching and learning. So we shall look at its historical evolution from it started from Web 3 1.0, it moved to Web 2.0, and now we are looking at the Web 3.0. We shall also look at the Web 3.0, its futures as it's being developed, its instructional benefits, how it connects to the connectivist learning theories, and we shall look at uh, examples of the Web 3.0 in terms of connectivists in action, and we'll look at the challenges as well as opportunities that comes with this Web 3.0. All right. So, uh, to introduce this Web 3.0 and connectivist learning, we'll say that, like I said earlier, we don't have a definite definition. But one thing we can say for Web 3.0 right now is that it represents the next stage of internet evolution, leveraging and decentralized technologies, blockchain load, and immersive environments. And we can also talk about connectivist learning as a learning theory that focus on network connections and knowledge sharing through digital tools. Uh, as we are in the era of technology, I think this connectivist learning theory is so important and so essential to us to look at it. Now, the historical evolution of the web. So we see web 1.0, which was a passive content, which had a, usually had a previously had a passive content consumption. Its content was also static. We see always static web pages, which are pretty slow compared to what we have today, and it's moved on from Web 1.0. There was a lot of improvement that went into it, and then we had Web 2.0 brought about features that had that were interactive. There were social and user generated content that were affiliated to it. And then we also had centralized platforms that came onto this Web 2.0, making it an improved version of the Web 1.0 that we had before. And now we are moving on to Web 3.0, for which is still under development, like we mentioned earlier. And this one is going to be decentralized. We will have semantic that is good content in terms of visualization. It's personalized, it's adds immersive experiences, and it's expected to include the blockchain, AI, as well as XR together. And that is what brings about the connectivity or the connectivity that makes it useful in terms of the connectivist learning. So we expect to have an improved version of both 1.0 and 2.0, and combining that together and even adding more features to come out with Web 3.0, which can help us in the future in terms of our technology in education. Now, for the core technical features for Web 3.0, we talk about it in terms of its decentralization. So there's no single owner for we can say that there's no single owner for Web 3.0, and the data is distributed across various blockchains and nodes, and therefore we can also say that it has enhanced privacy and user control. So users on their own identity and data is less locked in risk. So because we know that before, or in Web 1.0 and Web 1.2, we saw that the privacy component of those particular platforms or technologies were not as advanced as the Web 3.0 that is currently being introduced. So we expect to have enhanced privacy and user control. We also expect to have semantic web that machines can interpret the meaning and emotions and enabling smarter connectivity, smarter data connectivity. So we expect to have improved versions of the Web 2.0 in terms of the semantics and being able to interpret meanings and emotions and enabling smarter data connectivity, like I mentioned earlier on. We also see a lot of intra operability in terms of internet access everywhere and through multiple smart devices, which are able to it gives us that kind of leveraging or leverage to be able to access it everywhere and easily accessible also through multiple platforms or multiple devices on the mobile phone, on the computer, on the laptops, iPads, and so on and so forth. We expect to have this kind of interoperability for this Web 3.0. So these are the core features and the core technical features of the Web 3.0 that is currently being developed. And we expect it to bring a greater impact in terms of positivity in the educational technology industry. Eight instructional benefits. So we can talk about different instructional benefits of Web 3.0, but the few of them that I want to talk about is that it brings about secure, transparent learning records and credentialing via the blockchain. It also helps to personalize pathways using the AI, machine learning, and data analytics. And thirdly, we can also talk about the immersive or the XR and the metaverse classrooms and educational environments that gives the opportunity for learners to improve in terms of conceptual understanding. And it also has an open, accessible, and decentralized learning communities for collaboration. So learners are able to collaborate across all the platforms, and this boosts their understanding and their innovativity in learning. Connectivist learning theory and its fundamental concept. So learning, we know that it's a process of forming and connecting and connections among people, ideas, and technology. And emphasis on learning through networks rather than this connectivist learning theory, we see it to be emphasized on learning through networks rather than individual content delivery. Importance for it gives us the kind of importance for diversity, adoption, and updation of knowledge and accuracy because knowledge and resides in diversity of opinions, including non-human sources, which we can mention or we can never talk about without talking about AI. So we don't expect knowledge is not only built in humans; we also have non-human sources, which is the internet and online databases, and as well as AI. And connectivist learning theory is this is what connectivist learning theory is all about. That through connections we are able to get ideas and be able to diversify and get different or diverse views from and opinions from different sources to help in our understanding. Then connectivism and technology integration. So modern learning involves using digital networks, communities, and AI as well as smart devices. And learner legacy through the selection of information sources and nurturing connections for lifelong learning. These are what the connectivism and technology integration is all about. And we see that learning, like I mentioned earlier, it's a continuous process and it should be done for it to have a maximum impact or for us to benefit from it. It should be collaborative and also distributed. And connectivism and technology integration is what will help us to achieve this goal and to achieve it in the high esteem. Now, how does Web 3.0 enables connectivist connectivist learning? Number one is that the semantics of the semantically linked data and intelligent agents help learners to discover, connect, and update their content. So the Web 3.0 we have talked about is semantic team nature or is semantic data nature. So this is what helps learners to discover and connect and also update their knowledge. We can also talk about the decentralization. And because of this decentralized knowledge across educational platforms, it allows for open contribution and collective knowledge building. And last but not the least, for the how Web 3.0 enables connectivist learning is that the blockchain support transparent credentialing and learners portfolios that are portable and verifiable, and that is so important. Now, examples of the Web 3.0 and connectivist in action is the metaversity classrooms, immersive 3D environment, supportive collaborative learning, and interactive learning. We can also talk about the decentralized communities like the F3 DAO for global educator and student collaboration. We can also talk about the learn to earn models, which students are incentivized to buy digital assets for active participation. They're able to be motivated through digital assets for them to improve or to become active in terms of participation in their learning. Now, last but not the least is that I want to look at the instructional opportunities and challenges for this particular Web 3.0. So for the opportunities, it personalizes, it gives us the opportunity to personalize. We have accessibility, there's also data privacy and richer collaboration in terms of the connectivist learning theory. And the challenges is that we will have digital equity. We also have complexity in terms of its scalability, and the ethical considerations for new technologies are something are always a bit of a challenge. So we expect to have those things. In terms of future directions, we expect that there should be kind of streamline platforms or streamline regulations that for commuting through integrated systems. And for Web 3.0, uh, is dramatically evolving. So we need to embrace the ongoing change and innovation in our educational environments for us to continue to foster innovation and inclusivity in terms of global education. And I think that with this, we will enjoy the full benefits of this Web 3.0. So I think this is all that I have for this Web 3.0 model and the connectivist uh, learning theory. And I hope you enjoyed this particular presentation. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'll see you in our next model. Cheers.